Hello and welcome back to an actual exciting race. We're actually using the brand new updated cars on Circuit de la Sarthe for the 24 hours of Le Mans. Start of the race here is actually slightly damp. The wipers are working. We start in 7th, instantly get tapped and still remain in 7th. Ferrari poking its head around, move up a couple of positions into 5th place here. So obviously it's only like the first couple of corners now. Just got to settle into the race. To be honest, this is the first time I've actually done this race, so wasn't really too sure on weather conditions. We didn't know if they would add rain maybe later on in the race. We've got Leon there. Just going to get past, accidentally tapped at the back of him. But yeah, we've got the slipstream there, but just not enough to actually slingshot round. So more time I move out to try and overtake, it just doesn't really work. So obviously having a big run up is good. We outbrake Leon though and get the manoeuvre done, so we're actually now into P4. So as we make the cut and come off the main straight, Heisen there does have a half a second penalty, so just now a matter of trying to catch up. And as we now go Mach 10 down the second straight here, I guess you could say, we get the manoeuvre done, so actually now we're on the podium into P3, overtaking the Porsche there. We are using the Ferrari, if you couldn't tell. So P2 there is about 7/10 away, and then obviously you've got Heisen there, but he has got a half a second penalty, so not too worried about him. For some reason, a bit of a slow exit through there. So as we approach these S-curves, I'm going to call them, I don't know the official name, not a Circuit de la Sarthe guru. We kind of take it a bit wide and very slow, so it does actually allow Leon there to catch up, close the gap by 5/10, and yeah, we go really wide, and as a result of that we get the good old ignoring track limit half a second penalty. So not good, not great start to this race, but it's 14 laps, and a bit of a spoiler alert, if you haven't done this race yet, it takes about 50 minutes to do, so you're in for a long one here. And if you do attempt this, it's obviously going to be a long race. So it's lap 2 now, still in P3. We have got again Leon about 6/10 behind, 7/10 now, and still got that half a second penalty to serve. So just need to make some distance up and make some time up, and really just try and maintain a half a second gap at least. So as we approach big braking zone for this left hand here, run extremely deep into the corner. That's just a misjudgment on myself, but I think Leon there actually runs onto the old gravel pit, so you know that's good for us. I didn't actually see, no, he doesn't have a penalty note, so do serve it though. Still remain in P3, which is good of course, but again Leon is less than a second behind. So again, and if it's anything like the previous lap, I'm not really good on these corners, so let's see how we get on with this one. So remain a little bit better, of course, nowhere near the apex, but we can see the lights forming the shadows now. So if you didn't know, or you didn't kind of realise already, that there is actually like a day and night cycle to simulate the real like 24 hours of Le Mans obviously. So as you'll see, like come around this corner here, everything all lights up. The lights have officially come on, and we're now settling in for the darkness, and darkness does approach really quick. As you can see, it's obviously lap 3, and I believe as we go under this Dunlop bridge coming up in a couple of seconds, it literally just switches very quickly to a lot more darker. There you go. So it wasn't a cut, that is just genuinely how dark it just went. I was quite shocked and taken back by that, but again, this is my first daily race. I've attempted that actually there is a cycle for day and night, so this will be quite fun and interesting, and obviously all your reference points for braking corners and where you're meant to be hitting the apex all goes, and the only thing you can really rely on is either the car in front or if you just know the track really well. So enough yapping there. We again head Mach 10 down the straight, cool purple light on top of the roof there. We are about 1 second in front of Leon, but obviously P2 and 1 obviously kind of almost having their own race, and we aren't really catching up. So lap 4 now, remain in P3, which is good news, of course. Leon there still again within overtaking slipstream distance, obviously, for the big long straight. And as we again come round the left and right here for the Dunlop Bridge, a little bit of oversteer on the exit there, but more importantly, get a good exit compared to Leon, I believe, because we do actually make a little bit of time up, and just a matter of getting these next few corners as best as possible, as fast as possible, so when we do head onto the straight, Leon doesn't have a chance for slipstream. Now obviously he is less than a second away, and that is normally the magic number, but I mean he is catching, of course, but it's not really at the pace I thought it would have been, so made up like a couple of attempts actually being behind. But again, smooth exit on the corner, and as you can see, I mean, for some reason my recording device really does brighten up the actual level of darkness. In reality it's actually a lot darker than this, and you can't really see the sides of the roads. This really doesn't portray how dark it kind of really is. But half a second penalty, I don't know if you noticed, but I did actually go off on the exit of that last chicane, so I did run a little bit wide, and that is really my fault, really much. It's not even a good one. But ooh, Leon here, ooh yeah, so Leon almost gets the overtake down, but he does have a much better exit. I do run a little bit wide, so as you can see the Porsche, a lot better exit from Leon, but we do catch up ever so slightly. The Ferrari is quite quick, I think it's a tad bit quicker than the Porsche, but Leon just escapes. He's got the inside line through most of these little right-hander kinks. Obviously we do again have a penalty to serve, flashing my lights, you know, cause a distraction, hard on the brakes, make sure I don't ruin his race, make sure we keep it nice and clean, which we do, of course. So right-hander again just before we serve the penalty, take it a little bit rough, but I mean we've got a penalty to serve, so kind of hindrance myself, and now it's about a catching up game. Obviously we have got a lot of laps to go still, so you know, no need to panic as of yet. So lap 5 in P4, again we only lost one position considering we started in 7th, so it's not too bad. Again, it's just a catch-up game, and as we come down onto this main straight with the 2 chicanes, I believe it's the Mulsanne straight, we'll fast forward again, hitting Mach 10, hard on the brakes for this chicane. I do notice as well that we do make up a little bit of time on the brakes there, but on the way out, again, Leon is just gaining on us. So skip ahead just a tad bit. I mean, it's quite hard to tell, but it's not really getting brighter. It doesn't look it on the screen, but it truly isn't. It doesn't normally. It normally gets a little bit brighter around lap like 7, 8, something like that. So we've got a bit of a while yet until the daytime begins to set in on us. But for now, we're racing in the night. So again, lap 5. Coming up to the last sections of the track before we start a new lap, of course, and again just taking it a bit cautious. I've had a couple of penalties there, so I don't want to kind of ruin myself and have more of a hindrance on performance. So just try and take as much speed and carry as much speed, get a little bit of a jump, hit the Cumberland sausage, and really does kind of throw me off for the straight before the start finish line. Now again, we've jumped a whole lap. We come to the pits now. It is a mandatory stop with a fuel stop, if you couldn't tell about halfway through on the fuel. So pit stop is commencing, just filling up now to about 75% fuel. As we leave at the pits, we come out in P8, about 43 seconds behind, but obviously Muhammad Ali there has quit boxing and is now actually in Le Mans. He's just pitted in for the tyre change and fuel stop. As we come under the Dunlop Bridge, obviously we need to have a really good outlap here and make sure we make no mistakes and just keep it real nice and tidy, and not do this. Let's not do that. Let's not take it off-road. Let's keep it within the track limits, of course. These ain't 4x4s at the end of the day, so we'll jump ahead now. As you can see, Leon has just pitted in. We're on the S bends. I guess you can say I'm not really like I said, a Circuit de la Sarthe guru, but it takes about 30 seconds, I believe, for a pit stop. Obviously, with these sort of atrocious lines through the corners, we're definitely not catching up. 100% sure on that. Now, as we've got a couple of corners to go, and before we get onto the main straight, if you look now, Leon has just started filling up. It's filled up, so he's leaving the pits now. And as we cross the start-finish line for lap 8, we are about, well, we are closing the gap, of course, but we do remain at about 3 seconds there before the Dunlop Bridge. So we have got a lot of catching up to do. A lot of pace we need to find. So let's have a look here as we come around this right-hander after the main straight. We close the gap down about 2 tenths, and we're closing it back down even more. So chipping away at these times. And as we come on to the start of lap 9 here, still in P4, we can see Leon just up ahead there. He's just going around the first corner now. So, you know, he's in sight. It's beginning to become daytime. And look at this review, by the way. Wow, that is actually stunning. For Gran Turismo, you don't really ever see this. So if you're listening, Polyphony, add more of this stuff in. It looks really nice. Now, daytime has officially come about us, or dusk, or dawn. And we're on lap 9. Again, about 2.3 seconds behind Leon, as he's still got 5 laps to go. With the jump here, 4 laps to go. And we have really closed the gap down now on Leon. So about 1.3 seconds here. And we've still got, you know, a kind of a long straight and a few technical bits still to go. Now we are really, you know, there with Leon, kind of, not really, but, you know, about a second away as we come down to the big braking zone for the left-hander. About 1.2 now. So we are making time up. We are closing the distance, which is the important thing, which is what we need to do. Obviously, we have got 4 laps remaining, so we really need to make some time up. Still chip away at these times. Make sure we still get just some pace out somewhere. Now, lap 11 here. Again, 1.3 seconds. I am quite worried about how close Leon is to Corrigan. Looks like about a second or a little bit more, but here we get an absolute blister grip. And as we again go Mach 10 down the first straight before the chicane, closing the gap down to about 7 tenths there, or 8 tenths at least. And it's just a matter of trying to have a tiny line through here, which we do. And as we come down the second straight here before the second chicane, we close the gap down to about 5 or half a second. And we are, again, just keep closing it, keep chipping it away. And look, we're literally, we can read what it says on that tail light, which is Porsche, of course. So we are literally in him at this point. And again, I just don't have the run up to get the overtake done where I am actually too close. So just bear that in mind next time you do this race. Just make sure you have enough distance between yourself and the person in front to actually get the overtake and slingshot done. So second straight now, or third straight, depends how you want to look at it. We're again speed off to Mach 10 and about 2 tenths away. And as we come around to this big braking zone, make sure we obviously brake in time. Don't want to ruin each other's race, and I don't want to be the guy that is responsible for that. So again, hard on the brakes for this right-hander, obviously where the penalty time point is. A little bit of a poor exit, a little bit wide, but again, still less than half a second, keeping up, and we are actually chipping away at this current time. So S-bend's coming up now, obviously drop it into 4th. Full throttle around, keep it flat. Not that I'm trying to give you guidance on how to do this particular bit of track, because I am terrible at it, but about half throttle through there, and just make sure we get some clean lines. And of course, as I say that, we do run wide, so you know what's coming. We get the infamous 5 0.5 second penalty. So now it's all about really trying to catch up and actually get an overtake done. Make sure we can actually, you know, have a fighting chance for a podium finish. So this takes us on to lap 12 now, and things do start. It does start to get interesting. I mean, internally and externally in reality. So you'll see that, what I mean by that coming up. But before that, lap 12, P4. Obviously, we've got Leon here, who is, you know, who we are very close to, but also a friendly reminder, we do have a half-second penalty to serve currently, but we do again get a really good exit from that right-hander there to go onto the straight here. So things does start to get interesting now. Obviously, you have enough of a run up to get the overtake done now. So we're actually in the P3 now. It's all about who can outbrake each other, but beforehand, Jesus, yeah, bit of thunder hit me up then, and it did in fact scare me. So, you know, not only am I in the middle of a heat wave, it's thundering, just served the penalty. He also, Leon has just served the penalty, so actually there's a bit of grace there, to be honest, and it kind of helped us a lot. But obviously he is again in our gearbox there, and I'm obviously not particularly good at this part of the track, so quite an interesting battle here for third place. So just got to make sure. I'm not too sure what happened there. He just dropped off. I'm not too sure what happened. Maybe he touched the grass or something. But lap 13 now. A couple of laps to go, and about half a second in front of Leon. So we are again making up a little bit of time. And again, it is just one of these things where I need to stop doing this. The track is to the right, not over to the left, but moved over to the left, allowed Leon to go past. So I'll try and boost him, don't want to waste his time. So give him a few nudges, obviously, just to help try and maybe catch up as well to second place, who, I mean, is quite far away, to be honest. Let's be real. But again, no point, I'm not going to get the overtake done. So see what happens on this chicane here. Hard on the brakes. Slotting behind Leon there, of course, and just trying to get a good exit, which we do, and we should now have enough slipstream. But he is deciding to wiggle around the road on us to not really capitalise on just straight line speed, but move over to the left. He does also move over to the left, and we are literally about less than car lengths distance. We move up, get the overtake done late on the brakes, so into P3 we go. So we jump ahead to the big brake zone for this left-hander here. Brake on the curb, slot it into second, and I don't know if you can notice some weird artifacts as well, just in the recording. It might just be my end, but it was thundering at the point of recording, so I don't know if it's that messing with it. I'm not too sure, but we digress, and we have about a lap and a little bit to go. We are in P3. Obviously Leon there is about 3/10 behind us, so again, the battle is still on. We've still got a fight on our hands for who takes this podium at the end of lap 14, and we again just need to not make any silly mistakes. So as we come up to the last couple of corners here for the beginning of the final lap, do not hit the sausage. You do a wheelie. We've got 1.3 laps of fuel remaining, so plenty there. Did not want to dip down into the power band and reserve fuel. That would be costly towards us. Now, lap 14 under the Dunlop Bridge did give us a little tap, but I believe I did take it that right-hander there a bit too slow. So, you know, it's all fair there. But what's coming up, I'm going to let you decide in the comments what you would have done and if that actually was the right call to make. But as we come down the first straight before the chicane, Leon there is catching up. Obviously he is going to get the overtake done. Look how fast he is moving within the radar. He moves over to the right, taps me again on the side, so I just smash him into the wall. Not obviously on purpose, I didn't want to do it that hard. We will take a look at the replay here. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3. So I had enough. Didn't want my race to be ruined. There we go. So, as we come back to reality and we send Leon there into the barrier, not too sure what happens here. Just 2-second distance gap. I can't actually explain what happened, but look, that is the end of this. We are in P3. Don't need to worry about what Leon. He's 4 seconds behind. So, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, let me know down below. And like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye for now.